All right, we are live on the air for my second Google Hangout for EdCamp Global 2015. And we are on the backside of that Hangout. We were here at 10 o'clock last night, or 9 o'clock last night. It's now 10 o'clock my time in Connecticut in the United States. And I hope you're having a great day wherever you are. It's a beautiful sunny day here. And we are going to be talking interactive videos here today. So I am happy to take questions from people as we go. Yesterday I had a little difficulty with the questions appearing, but I think I've got that sorted out for this morning. And we will be able to take questions as we go. And I will be sharing some slides to give you some tips and clues and suggestions and ideas for how to use interactive videos with your students in your classes. So we'll wait for the rest of our viewers to join in before I share my screen and we get going. Okay, Matt, thank you for that information. Good to know. Had a little difficulty last night, but it seems to be up and running today without a problem. I am sending out to Twitter a link to the slides. So anybody who's interested in seeing those, I'm using the ECG 2015 hashtag, and it says slides for interactive videos. And you can get a copy of those slides. And you're welcome to use those slides in any way that might be useful for you. Certainly you can use them if you want to use them for showing your students how to create interactive videos, or if you have colleagues with whom you want to share them, by all means, whatever's there that is useful for you, I'm happy for you to make additional use out of it. So I'm going to share my screen with you now, and you will then be able to see the slideshow. As I click through it. Just get my screen share going, and it's right here. All right, so you should now be looking at my Google slideshow, and I'll step you through the process of making interactive videos and take questions as we go. So I used I had seen some online platforms for making interactive videos, and then found the Creator Studio in YouTube and realized that this was probably the easiest way to have students engaged in this process. And more people who have YouTube channels are using this tool. If you're a fan of Hip Hughes, I happen to use some of his videos with my students. He has started embedding these kinds of links in his videos. But the example that I started with my students was the Newton Nerds, their GMAT test prep channel for their Choose Your Own Adventure video. And they have, let's see if we can get this playing here. They use the interactive videos for practice questions. And you'll see as the people move away, there are actually hotspots here on the answers to the questions. So he's explaining a question to you and wants you to decide what the right answer is. And rather than try to actually solve the problem, I'm going to just randomly choose a right answer, or choose an answer. And it takes us to a new video, and we find out that that answer is actually incorrect. And now he will give an explanation as to why it's incorrect. And we have an option of choosing a different answer. And that again will take us to a different video. And again, my second guess was wrong as well. So these are the kinds of videos that I was making with my students. The students that I made it with were sophomores in high school, grade 10, so about 15, 16 years old. And they made their videos about the US Congress, the powers and the structure of Congress. And on my class YouTube channel, you can see that the video is here and that it works in much the same way. The students are introducing themselves to you, and then you will see where the hotspots appear on the video. And so you can choose to click here, and when you hover over it, it highlights a reminder that she said if you click her, you'll see the powers of Congress. And he said if you click him, you'll see the structure of Congress. So clicking structure of Congress takes you to a sub-intro video. And again, new hotspots highlight. And he has a bit of a sense of humor. And one of the things that I tried to remind students is that if I go back to slide 1 here, that a useful supply is a little charisma, a little personality to realize that you're maybe perhaps entertaining your audience. Certainly, you're trying to inform your audience. So the key to making these work successfully is having a topic that branches into multiple possibilities so that each student has a unique, or maybe students in a pair or a small group have a unique topic that they own. And also that those topics are related to one another so that there are logical points where students can choose to offer their audience the opportunity to follow a hyperlink to a connected topic. There are great lessons for digital citizenship involved in this kind of an exercise. Students in my classes were having conversations about the appropriate way to communicate to an audience, particularly given that when their videos were connected to YouTube, it was an audience that they didn't know. And how do they appropriately, professionally, and academically represent themselves and the content that they're conveying to this audience. One of the best pieces of information that I received from someone when I was first starting out was to remind students to hold their phone's landscape when filming. We had a couple of videos that needed to be refilmed because the students were holding their phones vertically and realized that the filming format was just not working for them. And then finally, you'll notice in the last little clip that I played for you, the student was saying, I'm waiting, make your choice. The students needed a reminder that a good 10 seconds is necessary as a protocol for how long you should hold, allow wait time for your audience to make a choice where they want to click and where it is that they're going to go from there. The hashtag to get the resources is ECG 2015, EdCamp Global 2015. I sent that out under my Twitter handle at Ms. J. Whiting, and I will send that out again when at the end of the broadcast, and you're welcome to use any of those slides. So what do you need? You need a phone or a tablet and a YouTube account. So if you are a Google Apps for Education school, then you know that by default you have a YouTube channel. And if you just have a personal Gmail that you like to use or a Gmail that you use with your students, you have a YouTube channel that goes along with that. I had students do this in 2 ways. Some students filmed from their own phones. And in that case, they uploaded to a shared folder in Google Drive. And from that shared folder, I could then upload the videos directly to my YouTube channel. And then what I found was that a way to actually get rid of that intermediary step of Google Drive was that I brought in a small Nexus tablet, an Android tablet that was synced with my YouTube account, my Gmail account, so my YouTube channel. And if students borrowed my tablet to film their videos, they could then upload directly to YouTube, and we didn't need the intermediary step of the shared folder in Google Drive. The nice thing about that is that from the filming of a video to the actual being able to manipulate that video in YouTube was a matter of about a 3-minute upload and another 1 or 2 minutes of processing time. So even in my classes meet in 48-minute periods, we could still get a significant number of videos filmed, uploaded, and ready to start hyperlinking, even in that kind of a short class period. On the back side of all of this, I used a Google Sheet to help the class stay organized. So this was a class of 20 students. It was a particularly small class, but I did do it with a class of 47 students. So the spreadsheet does help the project stay manageable for either a large group or a small group of students. But what you'll see is that on the left, I put the names of the students. They're in their pairings or their groups. The section of the video collection in which their video was going to live, and then the particular topic that they did for their video. And then the last thing, of course, was once the video was uploaded to YouTube, in the spreadsheet, I put the direct URL of their video, so that when students are making the hyperlinks from their video to another student's video, all they needed was this spreadsheet. They did not have to have multiple tabs open with each of the YouTube videos in them in order to find the YouTube address for the video. So on the back end, on our organizational end, having this spreadsheet was absolutely key. So inside the Creator Studio, if you've gone to someone's YouTube channel, like here, the Newton Nerd YouTube channel, this is the display that you're used to seeing, and your basic play bar and your closed captioning and things like that. But if you're looking at a video in your own YouTube channel, then it looks a little bit different. Below the play bar, you then have these editing tools, and the pencil opens in an edit mode that allows you to trim, to splice. You can play with the time, speed up or do slow motion in your film or things like that. So if you find you have a student who has a video, maybe they've filmed a couple of times and they keep having some bloopers, trimming and splicing really quickly in the YouTube editor is a way to help them kind of make some corrections they might want to make in that regard. But in terms of the annotations, the call out button here is the button that opens the annotations feature where you can make all of the hyperlinks. So when you click this button, it then shows you your video in this editing mode. And so you can see that up here, you get a button that says add annotation. And when you click add annotation, you can then click and drag your hotspot to be whatever size or shape you want it to be. And you can add, in this case, powers. The word is typed here. You can add as much text as you want to fill that hotspot box. You can set the color of the box. This happens to be a pretty busy shot, so we chose a bright yellow, hoping that would show up well for people. And then finally, from the spreadsheet here, you then copy the URL of the video to which you want to link. You paste it here and you click save. And it is that simple to make one video link to another video. So what I had the students do was once the videos were uploaded, they were each responsible for linking their video to the other necessary videos to continue the looping of the project going. And I set them up in one class period, as I said, 48 minutes long, 20 students, each on a Chromebook, logged into the YouTube channel. And by the end of the period, every student had done all of the uploading or all of the linking that they needed to do. And in addition, we used the description feature of the YouTube video for the students to add additional resources. So you'll see that in the description feature, the students put their MLA citations. And in some cases, if they said that there were identified other resources they thought their audience would find useful, perhaps in this case, it's their senators, the YouTube, the Facebook profiles, or the direct link to the House and the Senate websites, they were able to put those links in the description part of the video as well. So it really is that easy. And I'm happy to answer questions that people may have. I have a comment that says that YouTube editing has been around for a while, but it was primitive on a desktop and never thought of even trying it on a phone. Yes, and I'm maybe one of the few people who doesn't have an iPhone. I have an Android phone. So for me, from my phone up to YouTube is quite easy. But even if you're in the iWorld, if you have an iPhone or if you use iPads, you can download the YouTube Creator Studio app and have the same functionality and ease of upload to YouTube. So yeah, it really is fantastic. On the slide here, I've given you my my personal email if you have any questions and wanted to contact me for any reason. If you're trying this with classes and you wanted some input or some troubleshooting help, I'm happy for that. And also my YouTube handle, my Twitter handle is there. And finally, on the last slide, these are the questions that emerged in last night's session. I thought they were excellent questions and worth capturing for people. And one of the really important ones I thought was this one: people who had issues of student privacy, perhaps a child who was in foster care or for some reason could not have their image captured and publicized. And I had some students make their videos using Powtoon, Movely, WeVideo, some online editing program or video creation program, and those also publish to YouTube. And from YouTube, you can still make the interactive parts of them work. So a student could make a video that did not include their likeness, their image, they did not appear in it, and they didn't put their name in it. And that would protect their privacy. It was posted to my YouTube channel, so it wasn't identified with the student in any way. Yes, there is a YouTube Creator Studio app, so you can download that to an iPad or an iPhone and do your editing right there and your direct upload to YouTube that way. So really, really useful. So with your Android, do you film, upload to YouTube, and then go to desktop to YouTube video editor? No, we edit online right in YouTube. So we do it on a Chromebook. You don't need to have the video actually living on a device anywhere. It goes from the phone to the cloud, and all the editing is done there in the cloud. And yes, I agree. There's so much going on with this EdCamp Global. It is tough to keep up, which is why I've saved my personal or provided my personal contact information so that if you're trying it and questions like that emerge, you're welcome to contact me. So is it similar on the iPhone and Android? Again, I don't use an app on the Android. I upload directly to YouTube and do the editing there. But I have found that in showing other educators how to use this when they are in an iWorld, that they like using the app, and they find that to be the easy way to overcome the little platform differences. Yeah, the hotspots are great. One caution would be that you, if you're linking from a video in your channel to a video in your channel, then you're also able to link back. If you link from a video in your channel to a video somewhere else on the web in someone else's channel, then you don't have access to the editing features in their channel. You can't make the link back again. So that's just something to keep in mind. If you wanted to use it for yourself, you could also be linking out to other people's videos. The return feature just means they have to backspace and play through it again. If anybody else has used any of these types of editors or done interactive videos with their students, and you have things you'd like to share with the group, I'd be happy to throw this over to someone else who's had experience with this. And I just want to make sure I'm keeping up with all of the questions that people are posting. So yes, and the hashtag for the resources, let me pop that back out into Twitter again. Because I don't see a way for me to post it out to you here. So bear with me. You're going to see me for a second. I'm going to stop my screen share so that I can get back over to my Twitter profile here. All right. So if there's anybody else who has any questions, again, I'm happy to entertain any of the questions. My Twitter handle is @MsJWhiting, and I'm using the ECG 2015 hashtag, and it says interactive videos slides, and I will get you a shareable link for that. Nope, that was the presentation. Let's try that again. Copy the link. All right. Interactive video slides. Yep, there we go. Hashtag 2015. All right, I hope those slides have come to you. If the person who is asking for those, Carrie, if you see those slides out there now, if you're still with us, you can just give me a thumbs up, and I know that you'll have received them. And let me go. I'm going to go back to sharing my screen so that we can go back over some of the questions that emerged last evening. All right. And I thought this was also an excellent question that someone asked last night. Where do the students do their recording, and how do I handle noise? So the videos you'll see, if you click on the sample that I provided for you, you'll see that the videos are really less than 5 minutes long. Some of them a little bit longer, but most of them are somewhere in the 3 to 5 minute range. And so we just called out quiet on the set in the classroom, and everyone was quiet for the recording of each other's videos. And it was nice. They had the, when the video was done, they had a little applause from their classmates. They were really supportive of each other, and it really built some nice classroom spirit. Some students would go into the hallway outside of the classroom and find a quiet little nook or cranny in which they could do their filming. Some students did opt for green screen. They started getting a little crazy and dropping in backgrounds of C-SPAN behind their video and things like that. So some students did leave the room to go do something a little fancy, but I do want to emphasize, going back to my first slide, that all you need is a phone or a tablet, a YouTube account, a whiteboard, and a marker. It really is that low tech meets high tech, as you saw with the Newton nerds in their GMAT video. So it doesn't require a lot of technical proficiency. It does not require green screen and things like that. And someone also asked what type of device I recommend, and really I mean this with all earnestness and all sincerity. Whatever device you can get your hands on, the easiest and the cheapest. Groupon had a special on the Nexus 7-inch tablet while I was in the middle of doing this, and so I grabbed one of those to use for my classroom. But up until then, we were using whatever phones students brought in with them. And then comparing with TouchCast, is it more user-friendly? I don't have access to a classroom set of tablets, which I believe is probably the best way for students to use TouchCast. So using the phones where they were using nothing other than the camera application that already in their phone meant that they did not have to do any downloading of other apps. I didn't have to ask students to load up their personal devices with anything that they didn't want. They were just using their resident cameras. So I think that's it. I don't see any other questions popping up in the chat, but if you have any, feel free to post them in there. And again, I sent the slides out again, so hopefully people who want copies of the slides have them for themselves. The links to the sample videos are in the slides. And I think it's a great idea to play a video, an interactive video for your class, and have them, deconstruct it, talk about what works, what doesn't work, what might confuse them, what they think could be done better, and then hold that up for them as a challenge when they make their own videos. Another question that emerged that actually hasn't made it to the question list, and I will add that. I'm answering the questions from last night because I don't see any new questions appearing from today that I haven't already addressed. If there is a question that was posted today that I haven't addressed, do please do please post it. I just want to make sure that I cover all of the information that other people have already deemed useful. Yes, my students loved using the green screen as well. When the videos were done, because I had previewed all of the students' scripts before they posted their, before they filmed their videos, I had previewed their scripts and approved the accuracy of their content and things like that. I then used their videos to create a content quiz, and I put the questions to that quiz into a Google form. And the day after all of the linking was done, the students came to class and I shared the Google form with them. They watched each other's videos following the hyperlinks and answering the questions on the quiz. So I could then verify that students knew content beyond just the topic that they had researched, just the video that they had made. It also helped us test out all the hyperlinks and make sure that there weren't any errors in the linking, that all videos went, all links went, all hotspots went where they were supposed to go. Christina, thank you for joining, one of my friends from the ARC LMS program. I hope you do try it. Thanks so much for checking in with me today. So the Google form at the end was a good way for me to just verify everyone's content mastery. And also, as I said before, we shared the videos publicly with friends, family, students posting them out on Facebook, and me publicizing them. We had verified that, you know, technically they were all working as they were supposed to. Okay, and I don't see any more questions popping up in the chat, but if there are any questions, by all means, keep posting them and I will be happy to address them. Okay. So Derek asked, can you do all the edits, hotspots, and etc. from your phone? You cannot do the videos actually don't play on a phone. They will only play on a Chromebook, a laptop, something, or, you know, a computer. But you can do the edits and the hotspots from the Creator app if you're on a tablet, or directly in YouTube if you're on any kind of device besides a phone. The phones we used just for recording the videos and then doing the upload either to the shared Google Drive folder or the upload directly to YouTube. So I hope that answers that question. So I do have a set of Chromebooks in my classroom that we used for the editing when it came time for the students to be making all the links in their videos. Okay, and I did see a few more people pop into the slide, so just waiting to see if any more questions emerge. I hope you're all having a great time with the EdCamp Global. I know it's been a really fun experience for me, presenting and getting to see. Someone said it was nice to see the person behind the Twitter handle, and I have to say that I completely agree with that. Okay. All right, well, I don't see any more questions appearing. Teacher, we have one-to-one iPads in the middle school, so this is great. Yeah, one-to-one iPads will work really well. Middle school students will definitely take to this. If you search YouTube for Choose Your Own Adventure videos or interactive videos, you'll find that there are more and more teachers out there who are using this, and you'll be able to find lots of examples of the videos in process. And I think it helps the students to see other students doing it and say, okay, this is possible for me. When I showed my students, I'm just going to switch to Newton Nerds. When I showed them this one, Their response was, yes, but these people are almost grown-ups. And then once they started in on it themselves, realized, wow, you know what, they could have done this better and they could have done that better. And they took what the almost grown-ups had done and were making some improvements upon it themselves. So yeah, the models help a lot. Okay, so one more time, I'll just put my contact information up on the screen. You have my Gmail address and my Twitter handle. And if you are planning on trying this in the fall with your classes or some point next year, feel free to give me a shout out, and I would be happy to troubleshoot with anyone while you're working on it, and offer any advice or suggestions, answer any questions that you might have. Thank you so much for joining my Hangout today. This was really, really a lot of fun. So I'm going to stop my screen share, and that brings me back, and I'm ready to go participate in some other people's workshops today. So thank you so much for joining me, and enjoy the rest of your summer. And I hope you have a great start to your school year in the fall. Take care. Bye-bye.